seeing that Mount's out again, it just made me laugh. I mean,
did you hear what Ten Hag said, by the way, about him and Rice? I don't know if you saw it.
Mate, I did, and I wanted to avoid it, but
we can't avoid it. Let's just talk about it. Because Fabrizio tweeted this. He said that Eric Ten Hag was talking about Rice, said he's a very good player and would absolutely fit here in Man United. But I'm very happy with Mason Mount.
Interesting how he's linked the two. Yeah, that's a weird jump, but I get it. He's hyping up Mount and he's happy with Mount, but it sounds like there's subtext there. There's subtext.
Well, I tell you what it is though, but this is what's crazy. I almost feel like after him saying that, the subtext, you're right. He wanted Rice. Rice said no to us. So just like we couldn't get De Jong, instead of De Jong, you went for Casemiro. And I know he said since that I wanted both, right? And I understand that because that as a collective could work. But so he's gone for Declan Rice this time, hasn't got him. So the person he goes for instead is Mason Mount, who is nothing like Declan Rice. That is why I find it hard to defend him, because if that's true, that's 2 years running where he's gone for a completely different type of player to what he wants, and it doesn't fit the way we're trying to play football. That's the problem again, and that shouldn't be allowed to forget him doing it. We shouldn't allow it. We shouldn't. If KJ comes to me and says, Terry, we need to employ someone, and typically what I do when I employ people at the Terrace is they have to be multifaceted, so they can't just host a show or be a panelist. They've got to be able to edit TikToks or edit videos. They've got to be able to make thumbnails. They've got to have multi-layered skills, because you're not just going to host 2 shows where you can get paid a full-time wage, right? You've got to be able to work. But if KJ's like, look, we really need someone who's a world-class editor. We need someone who's brilliant at graphic design, and we need somebody who, we want someone on a panelist who's really funny and quirky and great with one-liners. Say that's the criteria. And we find a perfect person, but they say no to us and they work elsewhere. If he then brings in somebody that's a complete opposite to that, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not signing off. I'm like, no, hang on. That doesn't fit the job criteria for what we need. Allowing Ten Hag to do it is where I'll defend him, is still the bigger issue. It isn't that he's done it. It's how on God's green earth have we allowed that to take place? It's crazy.
No, you know what's funnier? And by the way, what you said is bang on. You know what's funnier? I don't expect him to throw Mount under the bus. He's not going to say, yeah, he's been a shit signing. But to come out and say, I've been happy with Mount. The guy's played like 16 games. We'll send him off the bench. He's injured for the 4th time. Bro, you're not happy. Stop lying. Stop lying to us. I need this guy to get off. I can't have him in press conferences no more. That's one of the main reasons I actually want to forget the football, forget everything. The guy doesn't know how to talk, and he lies so much. There is no way you are happy that with a signing when he's been injured 4 times this season. He hasn't been a key player for you. Remember that video with him earlier in the season where he was tapping him on the chest? He was like, "Oh, I need you to be a big player for us, for Man United," something like that. Bro, he hasn't, bro. You're not happy. You're upset he's been injured. You're upset your midfield has been shit. You're upset everything has been shit. And then you're saying that you're happy. No, you're not happy. Stop lying to the fans. Stop saying this shit.
Sorry to talk when you were speaking there. Also, if you look at him, Mount, he got back from his injury. I want to get these facts right in front of me, because I was thinking about this the other day, right? We've seen it with Amrabat, where Amrabat's a player that he chased all summer. All summer he chased this guy, right? And he's barely started him in games. He wanted Mount. Mount was a real key target for him. He's been back since he was back on the bench when we drew against Brentford. He came on and he actually played quite well and scored. We should have gone on to win the game, right? We should have seen it out. Next game against Chelsea, he got 4 minutes. What a disaster that was. Game after that against Liverpool, he got 6 minutes. Then he comes on for 12 minutes against Bournemouth. He got 1 minute against Burnley. And in fairness, only because
someone got injured. I forgot.
Bruno was injured. He got 80 minutes against Palace. So this is one of your star signings. I know he's been out of a calf injury, but how are you giving him 10 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 1 minute in his first 5 games back? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you're not going to throw him in game week 1 and play, but he's meant to be integral. Whenever an integral player comes back from an injury, they are given more than 10, 4, 6, 1, and 12 minutes. Because they're meant to be an important part of what you're trying to build. And we know that, by the way, with Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo was out for a couple of months, injured in pre-season, came back, and he's practically been a starter ever since. because he was part of the plans. This is why the Mount signing now, and I'm taking it away from Ten Hag in terms of Ten Hag has wanted him, but it's like he's got in and gone. I don't know. I know you've got an other half, haven't you, Lawless? You've got a missus, right? Cool, yeah. Well, we all know. I don't know if your missus does this, but mine in my life have. This has been all but one, really. How many times your missus buy something and it's still got the label in it in the cupboard and it never gets worn?
Yeah, many times.
That's what I feel like Ten Hag has done. I like Mount. Oh, do you know what? Now I've got it. I don't really see how it works. He can just sit on the bench. He can just stay in the closet and not be used. And for me, he's on 250 grand a week, costs us 60 million pounds, and we have no plan for him. And I'm annoyed that Ten Hag has done that, but I'm more annoyed at the board for allowing that to happen, not just with him, but with Amrabat as well, and multiple other players in the past. And it's not just the injuries, the unavailability, it's the lack of plan that goes into so many of these signings. It's crazy.
Now that we said all this, actually, I want to revise my answer from that earlier super chat. Now this guy needs to go. I'm lying to you if I'm lying to you if I tell you I don't go into this summer losing my head if he's still here. I'm telling him if I catch him in preseason in the US, wallahi, it's on site, bro. I'm telling you.
Sophia here says guilty as well. Yeah, look, most women in my mum was the same. River Island, the amount of stuff she had in that cupboard. And I remember my dad one day, he had to put something in her cupboard. And I was in my mum and dad's bedroom. I was quite young, maybe about 10 or 11. And he was just fuming. He's like, there's about 500 pounds of her clothes, right? This is in the 90s, mind you, because you've never worn. And he's like, and you told me that you've got nothing to wear. And I was like, that was my first experience of that. And I just thought it was my mum, right? And then as I've got older, I realized it's a big percentage. But yeah,
it's not crazy. Even just clothes. I'm looking at a sewing machine I bought over 12 years ago that hasn't come out of its box. It's been sitting on top of the wardrobe for 10 years. Mate. So yeah, that's Mason Mount I'm looking at over there. That's
it's what happens. And look, the one thing I would say, hasn't changed my mind about the super chat, like Staffy, in the sense of, but I don't think Barada and Ashworth and co will let that happen. Whether it's Ten Hag here or not, I think they'll look at a signing and go, hang on. You wanted a profile like Declan Rice. Now you want 60 million pounds for Mount. How does that work? And that's what you have to, like I said, that example I gave, and someone actually asked me a question.
You did in the end, though, didn't you? Even though he's been a bit
and he came in and he played left back the first few games and looked okay. I remember me and Staffy going, I like the look of this guy. And everybody says it hasn't worked, and it hasn't. But what I will say to defend Amrabat, it's not as though he's been given a prolonged period of time in the team to actually settle and play.
And he's never played the right midfield. Actually, I'm going to quote Don here, and it's going to be funny because he always says if you play the players in the right positions. I have been screaming and begging for a midfield pivot of Maino and Amrabat all season. It only happened once, and it was Enfield away. And funny enough, we had a clean sheet that day. That was the only time we ran that pivot that I wanted because I didn't want Casemiro in that pivot. And he kept always changing it up. He would never play Maino and Amrabat. He would keep Amrabat on the bench and bring him on for Maino, or would start him, and then Maino would be on the bench. That's when we played some Champions League games. He's never run that pivot that I've wanted. This is why when people say he's flopped. He hasn't played prolonged times, like Terry said, and he's never been used in a proper midfield. He played left back a lot. He's come off the bench a lot, especially in games that we're losing. We were losing 2-0 when he brought him on last game. What the hell is he supposed to do?
It's crazy. Like, I look at the games, right? So he played a minute against Burnley, right? He played left back in our 1-0 defeat. His first game for 90 minutes against Crystal Palace. Got put at left backs. We've got no left backs at the club. We then win our next two games where he plays at DM. We got smashed against Man City away. I didn't really put that on him. Then he was just on the bench for 2 games, didn't play. Then he got 18 minutes and 10 minutes in games. And then we had 3 matches. One against Chelsea that we won. He played the 90 minutes in that game. The 3-0 to Bournemouth, he was a DM that the whole team were awful, fair enough. And then he played in that DM role against Liverpool away from home where we drew 0-0. And then he didn't feature again then from the December right through until February. And then since then, he's been on the bench and had no more than 10 minutes on the field other than the Crystal Palace game where he came on for when we were already 4-0 down. So it's a case of he barely started any games. And I'm not like... I thought he was really going to be a game changer for us because I liked him. Not just because he was good at the World Cup, what I read about him. I watched him against you guys in the cup final last year, and he was so good. And this is what I mean. We
What you
chased him.
needed as well for quite a few years. It's a position
We
you really
chased
needed.
him for 4 months. 4 months we chased him, and the manager started him about 6 times. That tells me again, why did you
Including
want
a couple left backs. So he started in his actual position 4 times.
Yeah, it doesn't make
You said
sense.
what you said.
It
It's
doesn't make
crazy.
sense. It's crazy. When you actually break it down, it's crazy.